man, is it time for me to sell my crypto? Crypto has been on an insane run. Bitcoin close to breaking through 70,000 and heading into price discovery. But is now time to sell? Is it now time to trim? We need to talk about this topic because it's a very timely and pertinent topic. If you appreciate these updates, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. We are taking some incredible trades inside our Telegram community, JarlesCrypto.com/TG. Just hit over 15% on one of our trades and 20% on just Take Profit 1 on another altcoin. If you want to see how I trade altcoins, you're seeing it all inside the Telegram community. I'm not like these other guys that talk a lot of rubbish and are actually just crypto entertainers. I'm trading the market. I've shared every single one of my trades. You can see it all there, month over month. You can see my performances. If I hit stop losses, you see it too. So we need to talk about this thing around selling. Now, of course, if you're trading, like we're actively trading, then you have your take profits, you have your stop losses. That's a separate strategy. Today, I'm talking about the long-term investments, right? Crypto sitting there close to all-time highs. You got fear and greed index sitting on 84. I just checked it. That's extreme greed. And you guys have heard the thing before. I've said it plenty of times on this channel. You want to buy when others are fearful, but you want to sell when they're being greedy. So with that said, doesn't it mean now is the time to sell? Isn't now the time to sell when all the tourists are coming into the market? Shouldn't we be thinking about trimming? I'm going to break down exactly how I'm approaching this. Now, there's a few ways you need to look at this. The first is, how are you allocated, right? Because right now, every single person holding Bitcoin since forever is in the green or very close to being in the green, right? Like dollars here or there, because you're close to all-time highs. So if you made silly mistakes in the past, you now, and I'm going to come on to what that means, you're now in a position where you can rectify those. If you over-allocated in certain projects, right? You got too excited on a Phantom, you got too excited on a Solana or XRP, you're now getting to these points where you can start reallocating. Because we're starting to get to those price points where it's like, okay, now those altcoins and Bitcoin, if you didn't have enough, are getting to price points where I can say, okay, I can reshuffle my portfolio, right? I can reshuffle my portfolio because the market allowed me to get away with it by me now being at all-time highs. So that's one of the things on my priority list is if an altcoin has now become too big a part of my portfolio. For example, if Phantom has become a too big a part of my portfolio by the way it's growing, I'm going to start trimming, not because I don't believe in the project, and I'm not speaking about Phantom specifically, I'm going to do this for all altcoins in my portfolio, but I'll start trimming because I don't want it to become a disproportionate size. I'll give you an example. When I start invested in, let's say, Phantom, I'm okay at being 2 to 3% of the layer 1 section of my portfolio. Fine. If now it's gone a crazy rally, like we've seen with Phantom, and it's now become 5, 6% of the layer 1 portion of my portfolio, now I'm starting to get uncomfortable. Right? Because now my portfolio is misbalanced. It looks really good. It looks really green. But now I'm over skewed in terms of risk on that one project, which I don't want to do. So now is a good time for me, in my view, of course, please do your own research, build your own conviction. I need to start looking at that portfolio and saying, hang on, this was supposed to be 1%. It's now 4%. I need to start trimming. I need to start trimming and moving out. So that's the first main category. The other one is, what about those people that just did not allocate properly, right? What if you just did not have the correct mix of portfolio? What if you just had 1 or 2 altcoins and you never had some Bitcoin, you never had some Ethereum, you never had some of this other stuff? You can start thinking about a plan. Doesn't mean you FOMO in now on green candles, but you start thinking of a plan of how you can trim some of your altcoins, right? Maybe you had a bunch of Shiba or Pepe. Maybe you go, okay, now it's time to trim some of those. And when we see Bitcoin pull back, right, when we get fearful days, when we get red days, you could deploy that capital. So it's not necessarily that you have to sell something today and immediately buy something else today. That's not the case, right? You can sell today because we're in the green. You can sit on stable coins such as USDT for a little while, wait for pullbacks and buy from a position of strength. And that's what some people may need to do now in their portfolio. Now, like we touched upon it there, the other category is your meme coins. What if you're sat there on a crazy run of meme coins? What if you're sat there on Pepe and your Pepe bag, like mine as well, has just gone berserk? What do? Do you start trimming some? Well, you're probably going to want to take some chips off the table, right? If you've made a crazy 10, 15x, or whatever you've made on some of your altcoins, maybe you want to consider just kind of taking some of the froth off the top. Maybe you don't want to completely sell. What if you trim some? What if you take 10% off, 15%, 25%? At least you're hedging your bets. You've got one foot in the market in case that meme coin keeps running, but you've also taken some off the table so you don't feel like a complete fool if it falls down 80% again. So now is a very good time for you to start doing what others aren't doing. And that's the main message of this video. I'm not actually going to just sell everything, no. But I'm thinking from a sell or trim. I like the word trim because I don't really sell, right? I like trimming portfolios. Everything in this world, by the way, this is a separate rant, but everything in this world is super binary, all in, right? Buy everything now. Oh, sell everything now. There's no answer for that, right? All you have to do is kind of nibble. You've heard me say that, nibble, which is buy in the lows, and start trimming, which is on average sell at the highs. And if you can do that over time successfully, where you're buying generally when the price is low and you're selling generally bits and pieces when it's high, you're going to do all right. But if you're doing the opposite, which is selling when Bitcoin's at 15,500 and now buying now, you're going to always fail at investing, right? Because you're fundamentally getting it mixed. You're falling into FOMO. So I am thinking from a very clear trim first perspective. What do I need to trim? I'm going through my portfolio. I'm saying, where do I need to take some steam off the table? Where do I need to trim a little bit? Where do I need to take some off? Where has an altcoin, which I wanted to be 4% of the portfolio, is now sitting at 8% of the portfolio? I'm going to take some of that out. I'm going to put some in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I'm going to put the others in stable coins ready for me to pick some new, exciting altcoins. And of course, if I do find other new, exciting altcoins, guess where I'm going to share them? Here on this channel, but also ijazcrypto.com/TG. It'll be the first link in the description, is our Telegram community. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not getting caught up in the FOMO. I'm not buying for all-time highs. Also, I'm not stepping out of this market. That's just silly. I'm not going to sell everything and get out of the market. Why? Because Bitcoin is super close to price discovery. It's silly for me to get out now at all-time highs where Bitcoin could break through $70,000 and go and set itself a new price ceiling. The unknown. Right? There is an unknown level of price discovery here on Bitcoin, and that is the FOMO that's going to be in the market. Now, once that FOMO is hit, I do expect a flash crash. I do. Now, is that going to be a 10% flash crash, 15%? I don't know. But what I do know or feel from my research in the market is with all the leverage, all the excitement, all the greed, once we break through 70, I would not be surprised to see us run to 73, 74, 75,000. Loads of FOMO, loads of leverage longs. But guess what comes with all of that? Like I spoke about in my other video. Major liquidations to the downside. So do not be surprised to see crazy momentum to the upside, which is why I want to be in the market. But at the same time, do not be surprised to see flash crashes, which is why I only trade spot, which is why I don't short the market, which is why I don't use leverage. Because when those liquidations happen, people are getting wrecked. And I'm just sitting there on my spot bag, not panicking, buying the dip, buying into the fear. And when it's greedy, I start trimming. Hopefully you guys find this architecture useful. Hopefully you find this useful knowing what somebody else is doing in the market. If you appreciate these updates, even when I've just landed from Dubai back in a dark, gloomy London, then smash up the likes. Please don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.